She was the girl they mocked for having no scent, the Omega they banished before her first shift, the one no wolf wanted, near their pack, yet the moon followed her like a secret. They cast her out to die in the woods, but destiny didn't let her die. It remade her, and now two alphas, sworn enemies, forged in war, want the very girl they once dismissed, if only they knew. She held the thread that would decide which alpha lived and which pack burned. Before we continue, what would you choose if two powerful alphas fought over the mate they once rejected? Tell me in the comments, and remember to subscribe for more werewolf stories. This is the story of Lyra Hale, the Omega, every wolf dismissed as scentless, powerless, and unworthy. They didn't know the truth. Her bloodline was older than their packs, older than their wars, older even than the moon, rituals that shaped werewolf fate. Lyra wasn't just different. She was born with a gift the elders thought extinct. She was a fate breaker. But the night she learned what she was the same night her world nearly ended. Pack tradition demanded every wolf manifest a scent by 16. Lyra never did. Her mother died when she was young. Her father was a wanderer who never stayed. That left Lyra a lone Omega with no allies, no influence, and no defenses. On the night of the claiming moon, she stood among the circle of chosen females shivering under the moonlight, while the pack whispered, "Why is she here? She shouldn't even be allowed to stand with us. She'll be picked last, if at all." Their alpha, Cale Draven, stood tall at the front, golden aura burning, temper sharp as winter steel. Wolves adored him, Lyra feared him, not because he was cruel, but because his gaze, when it swept over her, felt like it saw everything she tried to hide. When the moon flared bright, Cale inhaled deeply, testing bonds, seeking the mate the moon goddess had chosen. He paused, because something pulled him toward Lyra. Something old, magnetic, volatile. For a heartbeat, Lyra felt a thread tighten. A spark. A whisper. Mate. But then Cale recoiled. "No," he growled, stepping back like he'd touched fire. "Not her." Gasps rippled through the crowd. Lyra froze, blood turning to ice. Cale's voice shook with disgust he didn't understand. "She has no scent, no wolf, no worth. I reject this bond." The thread snapped. Lyra's chest felt carved open. Before she could breathe, the elders seized her. "A scentless Omega cannot remain in the heart pack," Elder Rowan declared. "She is a liability, an omen of weakness." Cale said nothing, and silence was worse than a blade. Lyra was dragged through the gates and thrown into the forest, with only a thin cloak. "Survive if you can," the guards taunted. "No one will come for you." But she did survive. The forest accepted her like it recognized her blood. Strange whispers followed her at night. Wolves watched from a distance but never attacked. 3 nights later, during a silver storm, her body burned with a strange awakening. Light erupted beneath her skin. Her heartbeat split into 2 rhythms. One human, one ancient. When dawn broke, she wasn't the same. Her claws were sharper, her senses keener, and her reflection, her eyes glowed with a silver ring no wolf carried. She didn't shift, but something shifted in her, and in the shadows, an unfamiliar wolf, with dark markings, observed silently. He did not attack. He bowed, then vanished. Lyra didn't know it yet, but the War Alpha had seen her awakening. And he would return. Lyra spent 2 weeks surviving in the forest on instinct, and something deeper, something guiding her steps, protecting her, sharpening her courage. But the forest wasn't empty. Every night she felt watched, not by pack wolves, but by him. The rogue-marked Alpha, with the dark aura and the gold-ringed eyes. He finally revealed himself at moonrise. He stepped from the shadows, tall and deadly graceful, his wolf retreating into a lean, powerful, human form. His presence vibrated through the clearing, making her knees weaken. "Don't be afraid," he said. His voice was rough silk, older than Kael's, colder, yet warmer in strange places. "I've been waiting to speak with you." Lyra backed away, heart racing. "Who are you?" He dipped his head respectfully, not something Alphas did lightly. "I am Darius Vale, Alpha of the Shadowcrest Wolves. The pack your elders call rogues." Lyra swallowed hard. "Why are you following me? I'm no one." Darius stepped closer. The air shifted, recognition humming beneath her skin. "You're not no one," he said softly. "In fact, you are the most important wolf I've seen in a century." Lyra froze. "What are you talking about?" Darius's gaze flickered to the silver ring in her irises. "That mark is not moonborn. It is older, rarer. You carry the blood of the Fate Keepers, wolves born to alter destiny. You are a fate breaker." Lyra felt her breath unravel. "That's impossible." He shook his head. "I watched your awakening under the silver storm. I felt the power rip through the night. You are the key to ending the war between my pack and Kael's." Her stomach twisted. "War? I don't want to be involved. I don't want to go back to any pack." Darius took another slow step. Not predatory, but reverent. "Lyra, your life has never been your own. The elders feared what you were. That is why they cast you out. Not because you had no scent, but because your power hadn't awakened yet." Her pulse hammered. He extended a hand. "Come with me. I'll teach you who you are. I'll protect you from Kael's elders. And from Kael himself." Lyra jerked back. "I don't trust Alphas." A shadow crossed Darius's expression. Something like pain. Something like understanding. "You shouldn't," he murmured. "Especially ones who rejected a gift the moon gave them." Before she could respond, a deep growl thundered through the clearing. Lyra gasped. Kael emerged from the tree line, aura blazing gold, eyes burning with a fury she had never seen. "Step away from her," Kael snarled at Darius. "She's mine." Lyra flinched. "What? You rejected me!" Kael's expression broke, just for a heartbeat. "I was wrong," he rasped. "I felt the bond snap that night, but I felt it reform when you awakened. Lyra, I don't know what happened to you out here, but you are not the Omega I cast out." Darius growled back. "She doesn't belong to you anymore. You forfeited that right." Kael didn't even glance at him. His eyes stayed locked on Lyra. "I came to take you home. The elders were wrong. I was wrong." Lyra stepped back from both. "Home?" she whispered. "You threw me out into the wild like garbage. Why come for me now?" Kael's voice cracked. "Because the moment you left, my wolf went silent. I haven't slept. I haven't shifted. I haven't breathed without pain." Darius scoffed. "Consequences of rejecting fate." Kael's jaw flexed. "What do you want with her?" Darius didn't hide it. "She carries prophecy. She is the only one who can stop the blood curse spreading across our lands." Kael stiffened. "That curse is your burden, Shadowcrest Alpha, not hers." "It became hers the moment she awakened," Darius replied evenly. Lyra shook her head, overwhelmed. "I'm not a prophecy. I'm not a key. I'm just—" Darius stepped closer, gentle but firm. "You are everything your pack feared and everything mine needs." Kael's aura exploded. Don't touch her. Then don't push her, Darius countered. The two alphas shifted in the same breath, two massive wolves slamming into each other with bone-shaking force. Lyra stumbled back as claws raked earth. Fangs clashed, snarls echoed through the forest. Two alphas, fighting over the girl they once overlooked. Darius was darkness and precision. Kyle was fury and instinct. Neither gained ground. Lyra felt something in her chest. A pull toward both. Threads tugging, sparking, confusing her heart. Why do I feel this for two? What am I? The air around her shimmered. A faint silver glow rising from her skin. Both alphas froze mid-fight. Darius shifted back first, eyes wide. Do you feel that? He whispered. Kael shifted second, stunned. It's impossible. Lyra's aura flared brighter. The forest bent to her power. Her fate wasn't connecting her to one alpha. It was pulling both. The clearing pulsed with Lyra's aura, silver threads spiraling from her skin like moonlit smoke. Kael stared at her, stunned and breathless. Darius backed away slowly, reverently, as if he were witnessing something sacred. Lyra pressed a trembling hand to her chest. What's happening to me? Darius exhaled with awe. You're forming jewel threads. Kael shook his head violently. No, that's forbidden. That hasn't happened in centuries. Lyra's breath hitched. Jewel, what? Darius stepped closer, voice hushed. You're connecting to two alphas. Fate breakers don't choose one destiny. They hold the power of many. Kael's muscles locked, panic and longing crashing inside him. That means she could be bound to both of us, Lyra staggered. No, I don't want this. I don't want to be pulled apart. Kael moved toward her, voice rough. Lyra, I never wanted to hurt you. I rejected you because I thought the bond was wrong. Too faint. Too strange. The elders warned me. Darius cut him off, eyes sharp. The elders feared her. That's why they silenced her scent, suppressed her wolf, and manipulated you into rejecting her. Lyra's head snapped up. What? Kael froze. Darius turned to her. You think it's coincidence your scent never manifested? Your wolf stayed dormant? No. The elders placed a suppression rune on you as a baby. Lyra shook her head in disbelief. You're lying. Darius extended a hand. Feel it. When Lyra hesitantly touched his palm, silver sparks danced between their skin. He guided her hand to her collarbone, where a faint, old burn-like mark glowed beneath the surface. A rune, Darius whispered. One meant to bind your power. Lyra's breath shattered. Kael's eyes widened with horror. No, I didn't know. Lyra, I swear I didn't know what they did to you. Tears stung her eyes. You were my alpha. You were supposed to protect me. Kael fell to his knees, guilt crushing him. I failed you, but give me a chance to make it right. Darius stepped forward, eyes burning with conviction. You don't need his permission or mine. You need control of your gift. Your fate is not bound by our desire. Lyra backed away from both, voice trembling. Stop. Both of you, I can't handle this right now. Her aura pulsed harder. The forest shook with silver light. Kael rose slowly, expression full of regret. Lyra, I don't care what destiny says. I want you because you're you. Because losing you nearly destroyed me. Darius's voice deepened. And I want you because I see what you truly are, powerful, rare, and worthy. Not because fate demands it, but because I choose you. Lyra's knees buckled. Two alphas, two threads, two futures pulling at her heart. She forced a breath. I need answers, real answers. And I'm not leaving with either of you until I have them. Kael nodded, jaw tight. Then we go to the ruins, the old Fate Keeper temple. The truth lies there. Darius stiffened. That place is dangerous. Lyra lifted her chin. So am I. They travelled under moonlight, tension thick between the alphas. Kyle kept close, protective instinct flaring whenever branches snapped. Darius walked just behind her, scanning shadows with calculating eyes. Lyra felt both presences like two halves of a storm, one warm and furious, one cool and unyielding. Inside the temple ruins, ancient markings glowed faintly beneath dust. Lyra stepped into the center, symbols ignited beneath her feet. A rush of memories not her own hit her like lightning, wolves kneeling, runes pulsing, fate keepers crowned in silver fire. She gasped. Kael grabbed her arm. Lyra! Darius reached for her other side. Let it happen. It's unlocking. Light swirled around her, lifting her hair, her cloak, her heartbeat. And then a booming voice filled the chamber, not alive, not dead, but ancient. Fatebreaker born, destiny undone. Your choice shall bind the war of suns. Kael and Darius stiffened. Lyra's pulse thundered. What does that mean? Darius's voice was grave. It means whichever alpha you choose, their pack survives. Kael swallowed hard. And the other? Silence. Lyra stepped back in horror. No, I won't decide who lives or dies. I won't. The voice echoed again. The Fatebreaker cannot deny her role. Only her heart can restore the broken Maw. Kael touched her shoulder gently. Lyra, whatever the moon demands, I won't force you. Darius spoke softly. Neither will I. Your destiny is yours. Suddenly the temple trembled. A monstrous shadow rose behind the ruins. Massive, horned, glowing with red curse fire. Darius paled. No, not now. Kael's jaw tightened. The warbound beast. It followed us. Lyra's heart lurched. What is that? Darius whispered. A creature created from cursed blood. And it wants yours. The beast roared, shattering stone. Kael shifted instantly. Darius followed. Lyra stood frozen in the explosion of dust and flame. Caught between two alphas, two destinies, and a creature determined to devour the Fatebreaker. The war for her choice had just begun. The warbound beast charged, shaking the ruined temple as its massive claws tore stone from the floor. Its eyes burned, like dying stars, locked entirely onto Lyra. Kael didn't hesitate. He lunged first, golden fur blazing, muscles coiled, with lethal speed. Darius followed an instant later, dark wolf form slicing through the dust like a living shadow. The two alphas struck the monster together, one attacking high, the other low. Claws clashed, fangs tore flesh, magic hissed in the air like lightning. But the beast barely flinched. Its tail whipped violently, throwing Kael across the chamber. He slammed into a pillar. Bones cracking. Kael! Lyra screamed. Darius snarled and leapt for the beast's throat, but the creature caught him mid-air and hurled him into a shattered altar. Blood spilled there. Destiny burned. Lyra's heart split open. No, she whispered, shaking. I won't let this happen. The beast turned back toward her, sniffing deeply, recognizing the silver pulse beneath her skin. It roared. Lyra stumbled backward, aura flaring. You cannot run from fate, child. The voice wasn't hers. It was from the magic in the room, the same ancient presence that had spoken before. Lyra's hands trembled. I don't want to choose which alpha survives, she whispered. I don't want to be anyone's weapon. Silver light slithered from her fingertips. Darius staggered to his feet, panting. Lyra, your gift, use it. Kyle limped forward, bleeding, but defiant. We can't hold it much longer. You have to do something. Lyra's chest tightened, her breath shook. 2 alphas, 2 destinies, 1 fate breaker, caught between them. Choose. No, Lyra cried out. I won't choose between them. I choose all of us. Her pulse erupted in blinding silver. The rune beneath the temple floor ignited with ancient fire. The beast lunged for her throat. Lyra raised her hands and unleashed everything. A shockwave tore through the chamber, lifting the monster off the ground. Silver tendrils wrapped around its limbs, binding it, burning through its cursed hide. The beast howled and thrashed violently. But Lyra's power only intensified. Kyle shielded his eyes. Darius watched in awe. And Lyra, the scentless Omega they cast aside, stood tall in a pillar of moonlit fire. Her voice, when it came, was not entirely her own. I am the last Fate Keeper. I break curses, not lives. The silver threads around the beast tightened, sinking into its body, ripping out the dark energy that fueled it. The creature convulsed, roared, and dissolved into a cloud of ash scattered by the temple wind. Silence crashed over the ruins. Lyra collapsed to her knees, shaking, breath ragged. Kael rushed to her first, shifting back to human, blood streaking his skin. Lyra, are you hurt? His voice broke. Darius reached her second, kneeling on her other side. We need to get you out of here. Using that much power can shatter your core. Lyra looked between them. 2 alphas kneeling, 2 hearts tied to hers, 2 futures waiting. Why am I bound to both of you? She whispered. Why didn't the moon choose just one? Kale swallowed hard. Maybe because your power is meant to unite what's been broken, Darius added quietly. Or because destiny wants you stronger than any single alpha bond could make you. Lyra closed her eyes, overwhelmed. I won't choose tonight, she whispered. I can't. My heart is still healing. Neither alpha pressed, neither demanded. They simply nodded. Kael brushed a thumb over her jaw, regret softening his voice. I will earn back what I lost, if you let me. Darius held her steady as she leaned on him. And I will protect you, he vowed, even if your choice someday breaks me. Lyra's chest constricted. You're both important to me, she whispered. But right now, I choose my own path. Kael exhaled shakily. Darius bowed his head. For once, neither alpha fought fate. They simply accepted her strength. The temple wind shifted warm and gentle, brushing Lyra's face like a blessing. She stood slowly, shaky but resolute. I want to learn what I am, she said. I want control. I want truth. I want freedom. Darius straightened, awe still lingering in his eyes. Then we'll guide you. Kael nodded, jaw firm but hopeful. Both of us. Lyra stepped toward the temple doorway, the silver ring in her eyes glowing with new certainty. 2 alphas followed behind her, not as rivals, but as witnesses. The girl they mocked. The Omega they cast aside, now walked as the one who could end their war, the fate breaker who held the future of both packs in her hands. And as dawn broke over the ruins, Lyra realized she wasn't the prize of 2 alphas. She was the destiny that would rewrite the world they thought they ruled.